Alright, the time is 3 o'clock. I need to be at work at 5, so I don't have time to cut, edit, and splice videos together. And I know by the time I get out of work, Brett is going to have 10 brand new videos. So, we're going to do some real-time reaction. And I have not seen these videos yet. Let's start off with garbage Christians and fatherless children. Here we go.
Well, atheism is a belief, so I'm not an atheist, because that's something you have to believe.
Also makes a definitive statement.
The immortal George Carlin.
Well, I mean, somebody would define me that way. But
May his memory be eternal.
I know the distinction. I'm just a person who thinks someday you could find out, and I would know that whoever was there judging me, and I'm sure
Getting some texts here.
But if there was someone judging me, then I'd be fine. So I don't even think about where, you know what my brother calls it, the big electron. Just the big electron. Something is humming. It's all you need is a good hum. A good hum. Yeah.
A good hum.
So,
I see what you did there.
He probably lived. He's probably a live guy. But I got an interview with him in my book, by the way. You want to read that because he tells everybody.
Oh.
Is there a heaven? He says, not only is there a heaven, we got a heck.
You're mocking my lord, George Carlin. I don't like that.
And what's heck? Heck is not as bad as hell. Similar.
Oh, fair use. Fair use, fair use. I'm not going to DMCA you, Brett. Let's just skip this intro. Skip, skip, skip. Skip, skip. Oh, yeah.
Will fight head over heels in order to save a baby that is in the womb from being aborted. But as soon as
We've got Jack Nicholson here.
they have fucking nothing to do with it.
If you're comparing me to him, that's a compliment. I love The Shining.
Yeah.
That's my favorite, one of my favorite Kubrick movies.
It's a common occurrence amongst Christians, and it's one of the reasons why I think a lot of non-believers get annoyed with Christians and their self-righteousness.
I'm pro-choice, Brett.
Basically, the idea is
Pro-choice.
besides abortions,
Pro-choice.
Christians out there that when they run into an atheist, they'll try their damnedest to try to convert them over to Christianity. And if they manage to do that, a lot of these Christians won't have nothing to do with the person after that. It's weird. They want you to believe in God, and then if you do believe in God, the next thing you'll find yourself in is, okay, so what church do you go to? What denomination do you go to? What translation of the Bible do you read?
Yes, the Orthodox Church is the true
Do you pray
faith.
this many times a day? Do you
I
call
say that
God
very
by his
unapologetically.
name? Do you believe in the Trinity, or is Jesus just simply the Son and God is the Father? Are they two of the same personalities?
They're not the
Were you
same
baptized-
personality, but it's the same
Did you get
God.
baptized the right way? Were you dunked? Did somebody throw raindrops in your face? Did you go
Raindrops?
to a lake and get dunked and then get hypothermia? It just never ends.
I haven't read too many
Just
cases of people getting
constantly, you're just not
hypothermia
the
from a
right person,
baptism.
You're not doing this right. You're not doing that. Blah, 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 blah. And you lose friends so quickly. If you're a Mormon, then they don't even consider you a Christian. If you're a Catholic, then you're...
Hold on. Let me pause for a second. Do this right, do that, do the other thing right. Look, it would be pharisaical and judgmental if I were to criticize you for misapplying the teachings of Christ and misapplying the faith, okay? But it's not pharisaical for me to want to teach you what those tenets of the faith are. You don't even understand the basics of the faith yet. Okay, so I'm not a Pharisee for telling you how it works. I would be a Pharisee if you understood how it works and I was saying that you're not doing it good enough. Okay, anyway, let's go.
The whore of Babylon. If you're a Baptist, then
The
you're
whore of Babylon.
a podium puncher. If you're a Pentecostal, you're a tongue flapper. It just never fucking ends.
What's the epithet for the Orthodox? Do you have one for us?
Like it's not already difficult enough to try to get through to atheists, but then Christians have this in-game fighting happening on and on and on.
Touche. It's not good.
Horrible.
There's divisions in the church. It shouldn't be that way.
And of course, because the church is so accepting of simple, you get a lot of shit stains that just totally tantalize and cause so much fucking issue. It's unbelievable.
Shit stains like you and I, Brett.
Muslims, they've got their own problems too. They try as they might to pray 5 times a day to Mecca, and they.
You should be grateful to the acceptance of the church.
Other Muslims out there,
otherwise, you and I would have no place.
God, or beat a fucking woman out in the middle of the street, or stone her, and they don't give a shit if it's public. Then there's those Muslims.
Well, I've never stoned a woman.
Who are just wanting to have peace, and they see religion and Islam as a religion of peace. But the problem is they've got a few Muslims out there who decide that they want to learn how to fly planes into buildings and shit. So
a
the
few.
Muslims have to deal with that kind of thing.
A few.
There's a never-ending birth of losers in this world, complete and utter pieces of trash. It's amazing how much people got to put up with. I even see it, unfortunately, with atheism as well. You've got atheists out there who will tell other atheists that they're fucking retarded just because they perceive the universe differently or have a different perspective of how the universe works or how it looks. I watched a guy one time make a video, an atheist make a video to another atheist, and scream and yell at him and call him every fucking name in the book just because said atheist said in his perspective the universe is beautiful. And it leaves him in awe at night whenever he looks up at the stars. The other atheist was an anti-natalist asshole by the name of Enmendum. And he felt like he had to drag this guy all the way through the fucking mud. Just because the other atheist thought the
interesting guy. That's for sure.
Enmendum had to share how cold and dark and terrible and nasty and how fucking disgusting the cycle of death is in the universe, and couldn't just let things be. You can't even enjoy any of the world without some Christian, Muslim, pagan, Jew, atheist, agnostic, and all the way down the line. Someone's got to bitch and complain. Someone's got to find that little fucking bit of a nugget just so they can fucking mouth. And
we're fallen we're fallen sinners, right?
The audience that will drone right into that mindless thinking.
Fallen nature.
It's disgusting.
It's
very, very hard to be able to deal with people that are this fucking stupid. It is sickening. Really, it is.
Yep.
Touche. Besides all that,
all right.
It's one of the reasons why I hold the fiat. I just simply want to believe in God. I simply want to adore and respect and pray to the God that I believe is out there. A lot of Christians, Muslims, pagans, Jews, and people who do believe in God, they don't like to admit it, but we don't know a whole fuck a lot about God. That's the reason why it's faith.
We do admit that, Brett.
There's an intelligent mind in
who doesn't admit that?
Not all of us are willing to admit that we could be wrong. I personally admit that my belief is strictly on faith. I try.
Okay, pause for a second. Look, the church doesn't claim to have perfect knowledge of God. We believe that what limited insights we have are guided by the Holy Spirit. Anyway, let me keep going here.
I did come up with arguments having to do with science and try to let people know why I think it's rational to believe that there might be a God out there. But there's a lot of people out there that don't...
Might be a God out there. So, wait, Brett, are you an agnostic all of a sudden? You called yourself a theist, and now you're saying there might be a God? A theist doesn't say there might be a God. A theist says that there is a God. An agnostic, like Tommy from the Bronx, says that there might be a God.
Understand that. I can't tell you how many times I have seen religious people claim that they know for a fact that God exists.
Yes, Brett, and you should be one of them, if you're a theist. I mean, what is this might be a God shit? What the hell is going on here? Have you even thought about your own philosophical conception of reality in the universe? Are you making this up on the fly? Brett, you're confusing the hell out of me, man.
Do some kind of personal experience. Well, unfortunately, personal experiences don't cut the fucking mustard. It doesn't slice the cheese. Because...
No, look, personal experience. Okay, we're getting somewhere here. A personal relationship with Jesus Christ is all that matters. You can be a hearer of the law all day long. Okay? You can know as much about religion. I mean, look, when I was an atheist, I knew a lot about Christian theology. A lot. I had been through a Catholic catechism. But that doesn't matter. You can know as much about religion as you want, but if you don't have that personal relationship with Christ, you have nothing.
We live in a world that is rampant with fucking mental illness and insanity. There are people out there who can trip. They can lose it. If someone's on acid long enough, they might think they're the fucking Pope.
Paul's ego.
I've met people in my life on YouTube as well as in my real existence who believed that they were the new incarnation of Jesus Christ. So that's the problem.
Who are those people? I think I want to see those videos.
I can't tell you how many times I've met Christians who feel like they're that special child in the classroom and God's the teacher and they're the teacher's pet. And they think because they brought a certain amount of apples to God that this somehow makes them unique above all the other religious students.
Sure, yeah. Pharisaical Christians, hypocritical Christians, there are a lot of them, but God is the teacher, and we are the students. Blessed are you, O Lord, teach me your statutes.
Or non-believer students. It's almost a form of Christian narcissism and nihilism all wrapped up in one. Everybody else is meaningless except for me, because I'm the messenger of God.
Okay, obviously we're talking about me now.
Rough. I recently got yelled at by a couple of religious people on Skype because I invoked the idea that people who bring children into this world, they ought to take care of them. They ought to be responsible for them.
Was I there for this?
Maybe a lot of Christians don't understand this because you were...
I don't remember this coming up in the live chats that I was in, but I feel like I must be the one you're talking about. So when did this occur?
You got privileged, and you had a father, and you had a mother, and people took care of you, and they wiped your ass, and they fed you your little mix. But I'm a person who actually grew up without a dad.
I mean...
And, well, at least for a very short time he existed, but he made my life absolutely fucking miserable. He did not give a shit. And even told me that I was meant to be aborted, but my mother refused to go along with the plan.
Oh, boy.
My dad apparently thought that life would be better if he could just hang out with his friends, not spend any time with his wife, and go out and fuck other women while drinking. So whenever I see someone out there,
man after my own heart,
calls himself a Christian who drinks and then doesn't have anything to do with their children, reminds me very, very quickly of the irrelevant, insignificant pieces of shit of men out there who will be more than happy.
Well, you know, I paused here for a minute. I'm forgiving you more and more by the minute here, Brett, because now I'm starting to understand that these ponage videos really aren't about me at all. Projection is certainly something I'm guilty of myself and that I understand all too well.
To fuck a woman all day long, but as soon as she gets pregnant, he doesn't want to have nothing to do with her. Isn't even willing...
Oh. Now, if we are talking about me here, I'm not sure if we still are. Brett, I went to the Lamaze classes. I was there for the birth of my child. I mean, if we really want to get into personal details, you know what? Fuck it. We're not getting into these personal details. I already made my video about this. I revealed what I wanted to reveal. That's what you get. That's all you get for now.
To help with the child support, isn't even willing to sit there and help with the clothes or diapers or even some baby food.
I changed plenty of diapers.
Partying and drinking alcohol and having a good old fucking time at the expense of the rest of the world. I don't know. I've seen atheists out there who seem to, when they bring children in...
Actually, pause. I was changing diapers before I... my first job as a teenager was at a nursing home.
The world, if they get around to actually wanting to, that have done better with their children than some Christians have. I've actually been related to Christians who have disowned their kids simply because they were a non-believer. I have seen Christians disown their child because their child thinks that they are no longer a boy, but now that they're a little girl. I have seen.
Yeah. That's not good.
People sit there and disown their children.
That's
because
a misapplication
they
of
don't
Christ's
want their
teaching.
child going out with someone of a different race or color. I have seen religious people get rid of their children.
When I talk about the letter of the law versus the spirit of the law when it comes to Christianity and faith, people who make the Bible the end-all be-all, it's such a mistake. The spirit of the law is the perfect way to put it because the Holy Spirit has to be the guide.
Simply for loving someone of the same gender, being gay.
Love is never a sin.
And when I see people like that, I feel like these people, along with immoral atheists and immoral religious people, ought to be taken out back and beaten like a dumb fucking monkey.
No, Brett, see, that's not Christian. That's wrath. Vengeance belongs to the Lord alone, not to you and I.
In a rusty old chair, duct taped with a old, dilapidated toaster oven.
Oh, come on. Very descriptive,
I
but...
have no sympathy or compassion for people like this.
Well, you need to.
And it's maybe because I've lived on the dark side of my life for most of my life and existence. Maybe it's because I know what it's like to suffer. I know what it's like for people to feel inconvenienced for taking accountability and responsibility for their own.
Oh, shots fired. Shots fired.
And if it turns out that I'm wrong and that annihilationism is not the actual...
Lord, how they are increased that trouble me. Many are they that rise up against me. Many there be which say of my soul, there is no help for him in God, Selah. But thou, O Lord, art a shield for me, my glory, and the lifter up of mine head. I cried unto the Lord with my voice, and he heard me out of the holy hill, Selah. I laid me down and slept. I awakened, for the Lord sustained me. I will not be afraid of 10,000s of people. You have set themselves up against me round about. Arise, O Lord, save me, O my God, for thou hast smitten all my enemies upon the cheekbone. Thou hast broken the teeth of the ungodly. Salvation belongeth unto the Lord. Thy blessing is upon thy people, Selah. This wasn't as bad as everybody told me it was going to be. Come on, Jesus freak. How thin-skinned do you think I am? Okay, now let's move right along to Thank You, Jason, Porm Jorm, The Amazing Atheist, Paul's Ego, Fakesagan, which I'm told contains some nice, sweet little compliments about me. Let's watch this one here. Oh, boy. Yeah. You're making me hate Madonna. That's the worst thing you've done to me, Brett.
Take off my Clark Kent glasses and put on my Superman.
I'm a Madonna fan, by the way.
Okay. Harley Davidson. Can't go wrong with that.
I mean, wish I could afford one.
I wanted to talk about a few things. First, I wanted to thank a guy by the name of Jason. Jason is...
I kind of like Jason in my brief interaction with him. I think he's a cool guy.
And he did something for me that was
very educated guy.
You know, I've done a lot of videos in the past where I've talked about how irritating some people who can be whenever they troll. But Jason's a different type.
Sure, that's the point of trolling, yeah. Yeah.
He's extremely intelligent. He's very clever. He knows when to be serious. He knows when to be funny, and he knows whenever to troll. And because of his ability to see through people and see through
I wish Jason had a YouTube. I said that to him during the live chat. I was like, what's your YouTube so I can go watch it? Oh, I don't have one. Make one, Jason. One of us. One of us.
He could have let this continue.
Get on YouTube, boy.
You see, Brett Keane in his old age has...
How old are you anyway? I've honestly never known. I bet the DP knows exactly how old you are, how much you weigh, how big your dick is, everything under the sun.
Be put in very nasty situations.
Conversation situations.
Whenever it comes to reputation on YouTube,
Hey, have you ever noticed, like, when you want to do a Brett impression, there's a little bit of Sean Connery thrown in? It's a conversation situation. I almost do it the same way I do my Sean Connery. You're the man now, dog. Do you see the beast? Do you have him in your sights? Anyway.
I have been known to support people, and then they do terrible things, and then
Just turn that
all
sibilant
shit
S into a soft
what
S.
they've done
Yeah.
rains down on me, and it's hurt me in a lot of different ways.
Mm.
And I continuously make the mistake of trying to be friends with people who mean
Oh,
to me.
Brett, woe is me, woe is me, woe is me. The mistake you make is not treating your friends like friends. You try to use and manipulate people.
In many different ways, for whatever reason. Well, there was a guy who was extremely clever out there, who pretended to be my friend, someone I cared very much about, a person who...
Yeah, how does that feel, Brett? How does it feel to have someone pretend to be your friend and you find out that they were really taking advantage of you all along?
pretended as though
Tell me
they
about
were
it, Brett.
concerned about my health. They pretended as though they cared about me and my family as a person.
Yeah, that hurts, doesn't it? Stings a little bit.
He was an unbeliever. He didn't believe in God, but I respected him, and I considered him closer than some people out there who are religious. But unfortunately,
Yeah, betrayal stings,
I did not
doesn't it?
know that he was spending hours upon hours when talking to me and pretending to be my friend for over a year and a half. He had been recording.
Well, you know now.
Second of our conversations.
By the way, pause. By the way, in case this went under the radar for anybody, Palm Jam, I encourage you, don't release this data. I'm going to basically repeat what I said in the description of my last video, which is that maybe you were a troll when you started this out a year ago, but who are you now? Who are you today? That's up to you. Don't sell someone out to the DP for 30 pieces of silver. If you do it, you're no better than Brett. You're no better than the DP themselves. You're just a snake like the rest of these guys. Don't do it.
Single second. Very painful when you think about it. When you find out someone that you trust and you give over to your heart and you spend time with and your wife.
Now, Brett, as somebody who's experienced pain, don't you think that maybe trying to reduce other people's pain could be a meaningful experience for you?
Says nice things to them, and they even get to hear your kids playing in the background, and they know that you're just trying the best you can. They know that you suffer from
You know, it's funny. You tried to hurt me with the fatherless children video, and it didn't work. But you talking about hearing your kids play in the background, that actually hurts more than anything you said in the other video.
manic depression. They know that you're going through a lot of hell.
Must be nice.
And their only intention is just to literally
Must be
bend
really
you
nice.
over and fuck you in the ass for what? Popularity and views, or because
Popularity and views. Yeah, you wouldn't know anything about that, Brett.
you're friends with, or that you know.
You don't care about
That's
those at
hard
all,
to
do you?
swallow. It's hard to know that there are people like that that can spend that much time working you over.
Yeah,
Well,
very
I
hard.
probably would have never known. Unfortunately, that is one of the stupidest fucking problems that I have, is trusting people. And
Oh, woe is me, 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 woe is me. Grab the fucking fainting couch, Brett. Grab the smelling salts. Oh, you're swooning, right? Woe is me. You remind me of my old Catholic Irish grandmother. You really do. I mean, you even kind of look like her.
leaving myself open for people to just burn me. Well,
The problem isn't trusting people, Brett.
Jason, although it's true in the past, he didn't like me. He had issues with me, and mostly I think it was because
You know, Brett, I think he did like you.
with Paul's ego.
I think he did like you. I think the other shoe never would have dropped if it didn't offend his conscience to see the things that you do to other people. Myself included, to be honest. I think that's why he's doing what he's doing.
Admires and respects, and I can appreciate that.
I
And
don't
also
buy this narrative that he was a deep cover troll the whole time.
different views.
You made him into what
When I
he
think
is.
about it, I don't personally think that Jason really took it apart my disagreements or criticisms towards some of the things that he was talking about. He figured that's Brett Keane, that's how Brett Keane is.
Mm-hmm.
So here's what Jason did. He came into a live podcast with me. I invited him. I added him. And he noticed that Pormjorm, that's what I'm going to call him, was sitting in the room.
Okay.
And he told Pormjorm, why do you keep on trying to get a hold of Paul's ego for? Why do you keep on trying to get a hold of these people?
Mm-hmm.
You have nothing to offer. You have nothing to contribute. You are a liar. You
Red flags, huh?
You're this and that.
Mm.
And at first, I felt like...
You know, to be fair, if Palm Jam was planning this all along, then I'm one of the people that he fooled, and it's not easy to pull one over on the Fakesagan.
Jason, why are you going after him? Because you got to understand, Pormjorm was my buddy. I cared about my buddy.
No, you didn't.
And I didn't think it was right at first what Jason was doing.
If you cared about Palm Jam, then care about him now. Care about him now, Brett. You know, your affection for somebody, your concern for somebody shouldn't go out the window because they make a mistake, all right?
But Jason continued, and I tried to defend old Pormjorm. But Jason pointed out that the guy has talked behind my back. He pointed out that the guy is bullshit and that he's a liar, a deceiver, and a person who is capable of doing great wrongs.
Mm-hmm.
And then I sat there, horrified almost, and shocked. I had to actually turn my podcast off after a little while.
Oh, you do that all the time, Brett.
And shocked at what had happened.
No, because it was starting to make you look bad. So you did what you always do. Shut it down. Delete fucking everything, right?
What set him off was
the goyim no, shut it down.
That he's nothing more than a ball washer, a ball licker, who plays games with people and plays both sides of the field. To sit there and listen to old Pormjorm stuttering and stammering and...
Oh, that's the worst mixed metaphor ever. Both sides of the fence, Brett. Everybody plays both sides of the field.
Way out of it. I realized...
I don't even understand football, and that's...
All right. With someone on Skype talking.
Damn, you have a football field as the background, and anyway.
Turns out that they were nothing.
Or is that a football field? That might be a... No, that's a test pattern. My bad.
And then, of course, Fakesagan was on the broadcast as well.
Well, my ears are perking up.
We're having some moments back and forth, but it wasn't nothing really terrible or horrible. It was just, you could see that these were two very stubborn, powerful personalities that were striking heads.
Oh, stubborn, touche, powerful, whatever.
So
we were having a debate. I found it interesting and fun. There was no anger on my part.
Reason why I shut that damn podcast down. I was shocked. I needed some time to...
You shut that podcast down because we were talking about the subject of your honesty. Or lack thereof.
So, of course, after turning the podcast off and wanting to take my break, I immediately removed Palm Jam from Skype. I didn't even bother talking to it.
And in doing so, you seeded your own destruction. See, it's your wrath that's bringing wrath upon you. If you wouldn't have lashed out against Palm Jam, he probably wouldn't have been releasing this stuff or planning to release it. Read the chat log between me and Palm Jam that I linked in the description of my video, Redemption Begins with Confession, and you'll see that at the time he had no intention of releasing this stuff that he had about you. But what have you done since then? You've been treating the guy like shit, trying to fucking throw him under the bus, so now, big surprise, he's retaliating against you. An eye for an eye, Brett. It works real good, doesn't it?
I didn't bother listening to his excuses or justifications. I just said, fuck that. I don't even want none of this bullshit anymore. So, what happens is Palm Jam, apparently, we'll just call him Palm Jam. Who gives a fuck?
What else would you call him?
Doesn't really matter anyway. I'm sure tons of people will make videos about it.
Pormjorm, okay. All right, it took me a minute.
To release what he calls hundreds of hours of Brett Keane talking behind the scenes. Now, I want you
hope he
to
doesn't.
understand something very clearly. It's not that he has hundreds of hours of recordings of me. I always suspect...
Brett, you understand this clearly. If you understand this clearly, then you understand this clearly. If you understand this clearly, then you understand this clearly. If you understand this clearly, then you understand this clearly. If you understand this clearly, then you understand this clearly. If you understand this clearly, then you understand this clearly. If you understand this clearly, then you understand this clearly. If you understand this clearly, then you understand this clearly. If you understand this clearly, then you understand this clearly. If you understand this clearly, then you understand this clearly. If you understand this clearly, then you understand this clearly. If you understand this clearly, then you understand this clearly. If you understand this clearly, then you understand this clearly. If you understand this clearly, then you understand this clearly. If you understand this clearly, then you understand this clearly. If you understand this clearly, then you understand this clearly. If you understand this clearly, then you understand this clearly. If you understand this clearly, then you If he does release it, we're going to find out what he has.
When I'm talking to people, whether religious or non-believer, because it's the internet, I always conclude that there's a good possibility that people can be recording me and trying to manipulate or fuck me over.
Then why aren't you
What
more
bothers
cautious?
me is the fact that I was stupid enough to actually trust him, that I actually considered him a friend.
You know, by the way, Brett, you know why I don't have to worry about people secretly recording me? You know why I don't have to worry about my Skype logs coming out, or my private messages, or my texts that I have with people, or even my phone calls that I have with people being released on YouTube? Because I'm the same person in all of those that I am on YouTube. Honesty is the best policy. It's an insurance policy against what's happening to you right now.
I don't give a fuck if he releases a bunch of shit. I don't care if he puts Brett Keane on fucking Blu-ray. Go ahead and do what you're gonna do.
He is. He is going to do what he's going to do. I hope he
about
does the right
somebody,
thing
and you still
by not
have to-
releasing it.
It's almost as if someone has died. You know, you don't expect it. It just happens all of a sudden, abruptly and quick. And I kind of feel like I'm at the funeral of Palm Jam, of who I thought he was, and he's laying there in the casket getting ready to be fucking buried or cremated or whatever the case might be.
Oh boy,
And
this is
knowing that
melodramatic,
I
Brett.
will forever be disconnected from that person. That's the part that beats hard in my chest. Like, damn.
Damn.
That was somebody that I fucking appreciated. That was someone I enjoyed talking to and spending
If you
time
really
with.
appreciated
That was
him, he
someone
wouldn't
that
be
I
doing
cared
this to you,
deeply
Brett.
about. And they just announced that they've been manipulating me and doing shit the whole time. That's the hard part.
Brett, Palm Jam is saying that, okay? He's saying that he was planning this all along, that he was getting ready to troll you the whole time. Maybe that's true, but did you consider the possibility that he was your friend, a genuine friend, and that you ruined that friendship with how you've been treating him? Did you think of that, Brett? Did you think of the possibility that you've created this situation?
Part, not the hours of recordings. Because I can assure you there is nothing in those recordings that I haven't already said on video. I am the same guy who has admitted to being abused as a child. I am the same person
Woe is
who's
me.
admitted my disagreements with God. I am the same
Yeah.
person who has talked about whenever I was young how I went into foster homes, and I even got to spend a short bout in a mental institution, mental hospital.
Brett, okay, foster homes I know nothing about, but I spent time in a mental hospital as a kid too. I think I've talked about that on YouTube before. I was also physically abused as a kid. We have the power to overcome our past, okay? Your past doesn't need to define you. And don't take this as me not having sympathy. I have a wealth of sympathy for you, okay? More than I would for other problems that I can't identify with. Yet, nevertheless, perhaps that's why... Maybe it's projection that causes me to demand a little bit more evidence of self-improvement on your part.
So I'm not concerned about what people really know about me. In fact,
Oh, yes, you
my phone
are.
number is usually
That's
out of
all you're
people's
concerned about,
videos.
Brett.
My address is well known by the atheist as well as religious community. People know where I'm at. They know
And
I'm
nobody
finding it
cares.
easily accessible.
Nobody's going to go try to kill you,
This is
Brett.
part of the trust.
Nobody
I
cares.
got fucked. That really, really singes my asshole hairs. Jeez.
That's an unpleasant image you just put in my head. Thank you for that.
So I thank Jason for that. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I'm aware that when he originally came into my room, he probably had an interest to troll me and troll
No.
Anderson, aka Fakesagan.
No.
But because of his ability to
You're
see
deluding
people
yourself.
like fucking water, he was able to burn.
Oh, you're damn right I could see through people like water, Brett.
That was wonderful. There's some other things I need to point
You're
out.
damn right about that.
I am trying behind the scenes to the best of my ability to get along with Paul's ego and the Amazing Atheist. I enjoy.
Brett, you say that as if it's a good thing. See, you're poning these guys in public, and behind the scenes you're trying as hard as you can to ingratiate yourself to them. You say this as if it's a good thing. Brett, this is horrible. This is disingenuous. It's lying. It's what you always do.
feel as though if I try hard enough that I could actually possibly be friends with them.
And what would happen if you did, Brett? What would happen if those guys invited you to become the fifth drunk peasant upon the condition that you renounce belief in God? Would you do it?
And get along with them. But there's also something about myself too where I feel like I've been unfair about something to someone out there on YouTube. I feel like I've been unfair to Chris Anderson, Fakesagan.
I agree.
Really hard on him, and I brought up some personal shit in some of my videos that I should have probably handled it with a little bit more love and care. Even though I agree what I said
I agree
about him needing to be involved in his loved one's life and all that, I feel like
I want nothing more than to be involved in my daughter's life, but to do so at present would be reckless and irresponsible. We can agree to disagree, but the fact is, the only opinion that matters on this subject is mine.
I may have came off a little bit too nasty, a bit too fucking harsh, and there was a bit of anger inside of me whenever I made the videos prior to this one.
Well,
So
now we understand a little bit more of why.
Everybody will see that.
It's about your father, Brett.
But here's the thing.
Projection.
If I'm willing to give a guy like Pormjorm a fucking chance,
just call him Palm
and
Jam.
sit there and try to be his friend, an atheist who made it clear on my live podcasts and hangouts that he'd like to see the entire world destroyed with all human life in it. If I'm willing to give him a shot, and I'm also willing to do an interview with the Amazing Atheist and get into really personal, in-depth philosophical discussion.
Brett, you didn't try to be Palm Jam's friend. Stop deluding yourself about that. You didn't try to be his friend, okay? You sidled up to him. You formed an alliance with him, a shallow détente, which is all you ever have with anybody here on YouTube. All right, you manipulate people who you call friends. They're only friends if they're a battle buddy, an ally that you can use against your enemies, right? Friendship shouldn't be that conditional. It shouldn't disintegrate the moment someone fails to do your bidding or crosses you in the slightest way. That isn't real friendship, Brett.
Going to be his friend and Paul's ego after years of goofiness on each other and drama, then why shouldn't I be able to forgive Chris Anderson and Fakesagan for some of the things that I got aggravated at him about and what he's gotten aggravated at me about?
Brett, you should be able to forgive me, and it's wonderful. It's fantastic that you are, if that's even the case, and this isn't all just for publicity, okay? If you are able to forgive me, that's fantastic, and I'm grateful for it. But are you able to confess your sins and admit to the lies you've told? Admit your lies, Brett Keane. Admit them!
Well, why not? It's only fair. And, it just, after
I know.
my video apologizing to Paul's ego, about 20 minutes later...
Right, Brett, you're trying to get ahead of the shitstorm that you know that's coming by putting out these propaganda videos, fast and furious, these advertisements for your own virtue, these campaign commercials about what a great guy you are. Oh, I forgive this guy. Oh, I forgive that guy. Oh, I've dealt with so much adversity. Oh, my life sucks so bad. But what you need to do is admit your lies.
I was sitting out on my deck watching my cat eat some food and lick some water out of a bowl. And also I noticed in the right of my eye my pet possum coming out of the shed and chilling out.
Because you're so caring. You love all the animals. Yeah, I know.
Right. You're willing to be friends with
Saint Francis of Assisi right here.
Dissing on Chris Anderson, who's a newbie Christian trying to do the best he can.
Brett, I may be a recent convert to the faith, but as far as being a newbie Christian, that's you. Even when I was an atheist, I already had a very scholarly understanding of Christian theology, okay? I know more about this faith than you do. Now, maybe Maybe you're a more a Christian guy than I am. All right, so knowing a lot about Christianity does not equate to being a good Christian. I actually think that I'm a very bad Christian, and I'm sure that everybody else agrees if they have a lick of common sense. However, when it comes to knowledge of Christianity, you are the newbie, sir.
In some weird way, I got this idea that maybe he's trying to help me, and maybe he's trying to reach out to me. And
You think?
he doesn't know how to express himself without irritating me as the same way as myself.
Well, the Lord knows I've tried, Brett. I mean, what do I need to do? I've abstained this whole time from returning these volleys that you've been firing at me. So what do I have to do not to annoy you?
When I talk to him, maybe I'm not saying the right things. Maybe I'm not doing the right things where he can understand.
Oh, by pouring salt in the wound of my estranged child? You think maybe you stepped over a little bit of line there, a little slight faux pas? Maybe. But Brett, honestly, like I've been saying all along, I'm willing to look past all of that, but not until you admit your lies.
That I do care, and I do give a shit. There's a lot of fucking things Brett Keane has to work on. There's a lot of things
like lying.
Soul searching I've got to do.
Admit your lies.
I'm going to be honest with you guys about
Repent.
different things.
Repent, sinner.
A lot of the hardships I've dealt with in the past few years, due to a lot of people trying to con me like old Porm Dorm has done.
Oh, and you're not guilty of anything like that, Brett.
It's turned me from a very kind, loving, compassionate person
Oh,
to give
oh,
and have good relationships
Lord's
with
wounds.
a person who's always convinced that someone's
Woe is me, woe is me.
burn me.
Woe is me, I was such a kind and compassionate person before all these YouTube trolls got to me. Brett, you're a liar.
A person who always tries to watch his back and always looking over my shoulder.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't like that about myself. I don't want to.
Now that's a little bit of self-reflection there. That's a little bit of honesty right there. You are a person who's always watching his back and looking over his shoulder, Brett.
Be that person. I don't want to be fucking paranoid or tripping out like that.
Then stop.
I just want to be able to be cool with people.
Do it.
I'm not trying to fix my image or reputation. I just want to be able to...
Yes, you are. Yes, you are, Brett. That's all you ever do. You've never made one video on YouTube that wasn't a fucking campaign commercial for yourself designed to make you look like such a great guy, such a sympathetic guy. Admit your lies.
I get along with people on the internet as much as I possibly can, if that's even possible at all.
It's possible, but it requires some effort on your part.
Hopefully one day, when everybody's out there making their judgment calls and accusing me of everything under the sun, maybe you'll stop for a moment and do what I did. And go.
They're not false accusations, Brett. You've been caught red-handed, lying and manipulating and distorting the facts for 10 fucking years.
Out on your deck, watch your cat eating out of the bowl, licking the water out of the other bowl. And maybe if you have a pet possum...
Saint Francis of Assisi.
Spark some thought process.
Kind to all the creatures of nature, right,
Brett Keane
yeah.
have problems. Brett Keane can be quite the shit. But...
My heart is singing,
I
Brett.
think that if you think about yourself a little bit, some of the unrighteous, sinful things that you might have done...
I think about little
you might
else.
be able to realize that you and I are in the same boat, just paddling in a different direction.
In many ways we are, Brett. I'm going to admit, not for the first time in this video, a lot of the fact that I'm having this exchange with you, this back and forth, is projection. Alright? I used to be a man like you, somebody who was a propagandist for himself here on YouTube, trying to just lie to everybody, swindle everybody, bring everybody over to my side. And you know what, Brett? It doesn't work. That way invites destruction. Look at my example, Brett. You can learn a lot from looking at what happened to me, but are you doing that? No.
And if you can accept that, if you can accept your problems,
Oh,
your shit,
Brett.
and that you need changes, and I can do the same thing, I think at some point in time we could take a break from paddling and actually shake hands and get along.
I would love that, Brett. I would love that.
It's worth a try.
It's worth a try, so make one.
Worth a try.
Make one, Brett.
We'll see. I hope you all enjoyed this video. I'm sure some of you...
I didn't enjoy a damn minute of it, Brett. Repent and admit your lies.